I'm with the music maestro turned writer turned producer. Thank you so much for talking to us, sir. And congratulations, it's your maiden production, 99 songs. You wrote on Twitter that it is an ode to all the artists across the world. What really inspired you to, become a writer, and where did the thought actually come from?
It's very simple. Like when you take a story of a musician, in the West, I've told this before, they always portray any artist as a loser. See, if you become an artist, you become a loser and you die in the end. You'll be thrown out of your house. So I felt like, why is this narrative constantly being repeated? Is it a kind of perverse, sadistic narrative always? And why don't we write something which is internal? And so the story about a guy who has to write 100 songs to win a girl. Right. It's a simple fairy tale, but the layers underneath and what could happen and the internal turmoil of any artist. If you don't get that it factor, that it scene for a writer, or that it tune for a composer, then you're done, you're doomed. And sometimes time plays the villain, and within that time frame you have to generate, and you're humiliated within yourself and publicly. So it is as important as anybody, a warrior who can lose, And so I was thinking and to change things, you have to go on the hierarchy, you have to go up, because you can't be a composer and then dictate things. You may be respected. I have tremendous respect. People give me so much of things, but then at the same time, you can't make changes. If you have to make changes, you have to go notch up. So I said, if a producer, a writer, then you find a director. So I found Rishvesh, and then we found the cast, and we did all the stuff.
But was it challenging to perhaps be a producer, because this is the first time you're calling the shots, you know where to put your money, where what is happening on sets, to visit them, to see everything is going as per schedule. What was it like?
I have a great team, and I think they had Karan Grover, Sharda Tirlok, and we have Geo now as distributor. Then I had Ideal to finance the thing. And this gives me even more scare, because the responsibility and the trust they have in me is even more bigger. So we are constantly nudging. We took probably a year to edit what we have, and we're proud of it. And now the trailer has come, and you can see all the comments which is happening, and so we're excited.
Right, okay. So, there's one, dialogue in the film that, which perhaps says that, an artist can only love himself. Do you believe in that, and how far is it true?
And everybody has to have self-esteem. For the self-esteem, you need to believe that you are in existence and you are made with a purpose. Because, like people say, if you're born, you're already successful. That you're born out of million different combinations, and this happened. And so, what are you going to do with that existence? And that's very, very important. And for that, you need to love yourself, not too much where you're egoistic. You can have creative ego, but personal ego actually harms people. Sometimes it makes you make horrible decisions about other people's lives. So it's a balance, I would say. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I would imagine when A.R. Rahman announces his production, his maiden production, a lot of Bollywood biggies would, absolutely agree to be a part of it. But you went the other way and chose, newcomers, relatively newcomers. Was that a conscious decision to do that?
When you're beginning, when you're learning something, when you're doing for the first time, you always think that people are judging you. People are judging you. What is it going to think? So it was easier for me to work with new people. So we could work this whole project together rather than being told, no, this won't work. I know, I've done this movie. And we may be wrong or right, but we are proud of those decisions. We've been taking that stuff, and then you never know when something is achieved together fully to its creative initiation. I think it has impact. Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why all the new people actually, I'm also new, and we are growing together. Right. And we're setting up this YM movies as how we want.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you recently also said that, your team actually told, they found Pakistani Artist to be a part of the film, but you didn't want to go that way because you didn't want to invite any sort of controversy. Do you think that perhaps, art should not be mixed with politics and all of that?
It's out of the question. It's gone beyond all that stuff now. But my hitch told me that something was, I had the sixth sense that if something goes wrong, that if actually saved me. And that's the reason why we didn't go by that decision. Because those days, even a lot of Pakistani artists were working here. And so it was a very beautiful situation that time when we were casting. But everything happened a year later after we casted. And then everybody turned to me and said, "How did you know, sir?" I said, "I don't know, but it's good for us."
Right, okay. So talk to us about the music. I mean, being your maiden production, did you make that music extra special?
It is special for us because usually what we do is we find songs which are very catchy. We put them in the movie here. The particular situation, and it has to be some of the songs have to be very, very simple, because if a person grows according to his wisdom, according to his evolution, it changes, right? From first stage, second stage, third stage, and then fourth and finally the final stage. So I have to sometimes go very, very simple, simple, so that idea of transformation comes in the music too. So, and the other songs are actually more soundtrackish, which is according to the story.
Absolutely. So you started your journey, with Roja, then came your Oscar in 2009, and now it's been 11 long years. I can't help but ask, do you think you'd ever agree to a biopic on your life?
No. Till I'm alive, it'll be boring to watch myself.
Are you serious? I would imagine it to be quite interesting.
No, I've got many other stories to say.
Okay.
More interesting than mine.
Okay. So you're also collaborating with Kamal Haasan after 19 years. Tell us about that and, what brought you all back together?
I think Kamal Haasan is a university. And when you talk to him, you understand his knowledge and you understand his depth of his movies and his experiences. So I was very fascinated. Even though we tried to work a couple of movies, some Marma Yogi stopped and many movies stopped. But then this movie, even just talking to him is enlightening in a way, and so he has same respect. He comes and we did a song together. It's like a child. He placed that to everyone. Say, look at what AR did with me, and so I like that whole enthusiasm, and in a way we are trying to collaborate so that we can do something interesting. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so I have to ask you this, a lot is said about your daughter Khatija, and I have to say that she's extremely brave and she speaks really well on social media as well. But often fingers are pointed at her for wearing a burqa. You must be really proud of the way she actually takes it up and, perhaps answers with so much, with poise.
Khatija is a unique child. I'm very proud of her because when she was 19, 20, she started working with an NGO. She has fulfilled like 8,000 wishes for the Bhumi Foundation. And then she won the Torchbearer Award. Then she was into karate. She learned karate. Then she learned music. And then one of her songs 10 years ago became a viral hit from Robot. And then 10 million people started, bombarding her with wishes and, whatever comments. So I think that's one of the psychological reasons why she wanted to shut off. Because I think she's an introvert. She was like how I was before. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to see the outside. I wanted to lock myself in the studio. But she didn't have a studio. She had a burqa. Mm-hmm. So I think it's one of the reasons why. Because we all get so much of exposure even if you don't want to, And that's one of the reasons. I'm proud of whatever decision she does. She knows she's grown up. She makes her own choices. And she demands.
So talk us to the music of 99, because it's your maiden production. I'm sure you've put in that little extra effort as well.
So the music of 99 has almost 14, 15 tracks. And for the first time, Dolby Atmos, we're collaborating with Dolby Atmos, where we can reverse encode a theatrical sound into stereo, and without being compressed or without diluting the whole data. Mm-hmm. And we hope that this brings the realistic experience, what I mix in the studio, that to the common person who hears the song.
Right. Have you heard a lot of perhaps people complaining about the fact that, they don't get the real original songs that they perhaps hear in theaters, even on their smartphones?
Half the people don't even know that they're hearing bad sound, because when things are thrown at you, you said, you just keep quiet. Okay, this is what I get, so I'll have it. So when things like this pushes up the notch up, then you have other people in trouble because the music is going to sound better because of the technology and because of the collaboration, because of the power they have to change and collaborate and bring in good quality from another thing.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, and all the best for 99 songs. Thank you.